What did you have for breakfast today? I had scrambled eggs and toast. How about you? I had a bowl of oatmeal with fresh fruits. Do you usually eat breakfast? Yes, I do. I feel it helps kickstart my day. What do you think is the most important meal of the day? I believe breakfast is the most important as it sets the energy level for the day. That's true. What do you usually have for lunch? I usually have a sandwich or a salad. I try to keep it light. Do you cook your lunch or do you prefer to eat out? I usually prepare my lunch at home. It's healthier and more economical. That's smart. What's your favorite lunch food? I love having a chicken salad sandwich. It's delicious and filling. Sounds yummy. What time do you usually have dinner? I usually have dinner around 7 p.m. How about you? I usually have dinner around the same time. Do you prefer a light or heavy dinner? I prefer a light dinner. A heavy one keeps me awake at night. What's your favorite dinner food? I enjoy grilled fish and steamed vegetables for dinner. That sounds healthy. Do you prefer eating alone or with others? I enjoy the company. Meals are more enjoyable when shared. I agree. Do you have any special dietary restrictions? No, I don't. But I try to avoid too much sugar and salt. That's a good practice. Do you believe in the concept of comfort food? Absolutely. For me, it's a bowl of hot soup on a cold day. Sounds comforting. What's your favorite meal of the day? I'd have to say breakfast. It's a great way to start the day. I couldn't agree more. Have you tried any new food recently? Yes, I tried sushi for the first time last week. It was interesting. That's cool. Would you recommend it? Absolutely. It's a must-try. What did Richard have for breakfast today? Richard had scrambled eggs and toast for breakfast. Does Linda eat breakfast before going to the gym? No, Linda prefers to work out on an empty stomach, so she eats breakfast after the gym. Why was Richard late for breakfast? Richard overslept and missed breakfast. What's Linda's favorite breakfast cereal? Linda loves oatmeal for breakfast. Do Richard and Linda ever go out for breakfast on weekends? Yes, sometimes they like to go to a local cafe for a leisurely breakfast. Where did Richard go for lunch yesterday? Richard went to a sushi restaurant for lunch. Does Linda usually pack her own lunch? Yes, Linda often brings a salad or a sandwich for lunch. What time does Richard usually take his lunch break? Richard usually takes his lunch break at 1 p.m. Does Linda ever skip lunch? Rarely. Linda believes it's important to have regular meals, including lunch. What's Richard's go-to lunch when he's busy? When he's pressed for time, Richard grabs a quick salad for lunch. What did Linda cook for dinner last night? Linda made spaghetti for dinner. Is Richard joining Linda for dinner tonight? Yes, Richard and Linda are planning to have dinner together at home. What time do Linda and Richard usually eat dinner? They usually have dinner around 7 p.m. Does Richard like to have dessert after dinner? Yes, Richard enjoys having a small piece of cake after dinner. Do Linda and Richard prefer a simple or elaborate dinner? They both enjoy a simple dinner during weekdays and like to have something special on weekends. Did Linda and Richard have breakfast together this morning? No, Linda had an early meeting, so they didn't have breakfast together. Are Richard and Linda going out for lunch this weekend? Yes, they're planning to have lunch at a new restaurant downtown. What's Linda's favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Linda's favorite meal is dinner because she enjoys cooking and having quality time with Richard. What's a common dinner dish that Linda and Richard both enjoy? Both Linda and Richard enjoy having grilled chicken and vegetables for dinner.
What's your favorite thing to have for breakfast? I love starting my day with a bowl of oatmeal and fresh fruits. Do you prefer coffee or tea in the morning? I'm definitely a coffee person. It helps kickstart my day. Do you usually have time to prepare breakfast, or do you grab something on the go? I usually prepare my breakfast at home. I find it's a good way to start the day. What's a typical lunch for you? I usually have a salad or a sandwich for lunch, something light and quick. Do you prefer to eat lunch alone or with others? I enjoy the company of others at lunch. It's a great way to catch up and take a break from work. Do you usually cook dinner at home or eat out? I prefer to cook dinner at home. It's healthier and more economical. What's your favorite type of cuisine for dinner? I'm a big fan of Italian cuisine. I love pasta and pizza. Do you like to try new recipes or stick to your favorites? I enjoy trying new recipes. It's fun to experiment in the kitchen. Do you usually have dessert after dinner? Yes, I have a sweet tooth. I usually have a small dessert after dinner. Do you prefer a light breakfast or a hearty one? I prefer a light breakfast. I find it easier to start the day that way. Do you like to eat breakfast as soon as you wake up or wait a while? I usually wait a while before having breakfast. It's just my personal routine. How often do you eat out for lunch? I usually bring my own lunch to work, but I treat myself to a meal out once a week. What's your go-to quick dinner recipe? I love making stir fry. It's quick, easy, and you can use whatever ingredients you have on hand. Do you usually eat at the dinner table or in front of the TV? I usually eat at the dinner table. It's a good time to catch up with family. What's your favorite thing to cook for dinner? I love cooking pasta. There are so many different ways you can prepare it. How do you feel about breakfast for dinner? I think it's a fun idea. Who doesn't love pancakes for dinner? Do you like spicy food for dinner, or do you prefer something milder? I enjoy spicy food. It adds a bit of excitement to the meal. What's your favorite breakfast food from another country? I love the idea of a full English breakfast. It seems so hearty and satisfying. How important is it for you to have a sit-down dinner with family or friends? It's very important to me. It's a great time to connect and share the events of the day. I hope you find these examples helpful. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite pâtisserie, Oscar? My favorite pâtisserie is the one downtown near the subway station. Carmen, have you ever baked a cake? Yes, I once baked a chocolate cake for my friend's birthday. What's your go-to pastry, Oscar? I love almond croissants. They're always so flaky and delicious. Carmen, do you like cheese pastries? Yes, cheese pastries are delicious. Especially when they're warm. Oscar, have you ever tried simit? Yes, simit is amazing, especially when it's fresh from the oven. What was the last cake you ate, Carmen? The last cake I had was a lemon pound cake, and it was delightful. Do you enjoy working at the pâtisserie, Oscar? Absolutely, it's a wonderful experience, and I get to taste new things all the time. Carmen, do you put cheese in your pastries? Sometimes, I like to make cheese-filled puff pastries as a snack. What type of cake will you make for Carmen's birthday, Oscar? I'm planning on making her a vanilla cake with raspberry filling. Carmen, have you ever visited Turkey to eat simit? No, I haven't been to Turkey yet, but I would love to try simit there. Oscar, what's the most popular pastry at your pâtisserie? The most popular pastry is definitely our apple turnovers. Carmen, what kind of cheese do you use for your cheese pastries? I usually use feta or cheddar, depending on the recipe. Oscar, how do you like to eat your simit? I prefer it with a slice of cheese or some jam. What's Carmen's favorite cake, Oscar? Carmen absolutely loves carrot cake. Have you tried making simit at home, Carmen? Not yet, but I've watched a few recipes online and would love to try making it. How many types of pastries do you sell at your patisserie, Oscar? We offer about 20 different types of pastries. Carmen, do you prefer cake or cheese pastry for your birthday? I prefer cake for my birthday, it feels more festive. Carmen, what do you like to drink with your pastry? I usually enjoy a cup of coffee or tea with my pastry. Oscar, how long does it take to bake a cake at your patisserie? It usually takes around 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the type of cake. What's your favorite type of pastry? I really enjoy croissants. They're flaky and buttery, just perfect with a cup of coffee. Do you prefer cake or pastries? It depends on my mood, but I generally prefer pastries. There's more variety. What's the most difficult thing you've ever baked? I tried making a soufflé once. It was quite difficult to get it to rise properly. What's your favorite cake flavor? I love chocolate cake. It's a classic, but you can't beat it. What's your favorite thing about patisseries? I love the atmosphere. There's something very cozy about a patisserie. Have you ever had a pastry from another country? Yes, I've tried pastries from many different places. I really like the pastel de nata from Portugal. Have you ever had a bad experience with a cake or pastry? Yes, I once had a cake that was extremely dry. It was quite disappointing. How do you feel about cream-filled pastries? I like them, but only if the cream isn't too sweet. What's your favorite pastry to have for breakfast? I like a good Danish or a muffin in the morning. What's the most unique pastry you've ever had? I once had a pastry filled with matcha cream. It was very different, but delicious. I hope these question and answer examples are helpful. Thanks for watching.